Well, students, it's our next grammar lecture, and as I told you that in this lecture we would be doing verb. So first, a simple definition of verb. A verb is an independent part of speech indicating the action or state of a thing or person. So as you know, verbs may indicate action or state. State is condition, in which state something or some person is. To sing, to draw, to be, to stand, these are different verbs. English verbs are divided into following categories. These are the classes, categories, or what you can say, groups of verb. Action or dynamic verbs. Action verbs are also sometimes called dynamic verbs because they show some type of movement or action. Show what the subject is doing. So these are the action verbs which show what a subject is doing or what is happening or what's occurring there. I work at the zoo. They swam in the stream. Now work and swam are action or dynamic verbs. Then there are stative verbs. Verbs that show state, that show some condition, state of the subject. The state may be permanent or temporary. It may be a permanent state or temporary state. Temporary for the time being, impermanent. Moreover, they may be related to opinion, possession, emotion, or senses. Sometimes, stative verbs describe our opinion, or they show some type of ownership, possession, or they describe our emotion, or they are related to our senses. His father is a businessman. Now, this verb is a stative verb because it shows the condition or state of his father, who is a businessman. I have no money. Have is a stative verb. It shows possession, that I possess no money, I have no money. She seems busy. Now seems may be our opinion. She looks busy. She seems busy. Then there are auxiliary or helping verbs which are mainly used with the main verb. We call them auxiliary or helping verb because these verbs help the main verb of the sentence to express its meaning. So they are used with the main verb to show the verb's tense. They indicate the tense of that main verb or to form a negative or question. Sometimes in some tenses we use helping verbs to make negative or questions. The most common auxiliary verbs are have, be, and do. In the English language, these are three main or most common auxiliary verbs. Be, and you know, be has its form, is, am, are, was, were, etc. These are the forms of be. Similarly, have is an auxiliary verb. It has the form had. And do, does, did. These are the forms of do. So these forms of these auxiliary verbs are used as helping verbs. As helping verbs, they do not have independent meaning. So as they are used in a sentence as helping verb, they don't have any independent meaning. They have meaning related to the main verb. For example, I am going. Now am is a helping verb here because it is being used with this main verb going. People had waited for 2 hours. Had is a helping verb because it is being used with this main verb waited. Do you know him? Here do is a helping verb that is used to make a question in the present indefinite tense, and it is used with this main verb no. Linking or copular verbs. Linking verbs are sometimes called copular verbs also. They may be the same, have, be, they may be these verbs or certain other verbs. Linking or copular verbs connect the subject of a sentence to the complement. Basically, the function of linking or copular verb is to connect the subject to the complement. Complement may be a noun or an adjective or a phrase. All the verbs denoting the five senses are linking verbs. Now, linking verbs are also stative verbs. They may be related to five senses. For example, sound, look, taste, smell, and feel. These are verbs, and these verbs are used as linking verbs also, or copular verbs also. Other linking verbs include appear, to be, remain, seem, become, stay, get, and many more. So these verbs are linking verbs because their function in a sentence is simply to connect the subject to the complement. For example, they looked happy. Now they looked happy. Looked is a linking verb here. She sounded confident. Sounded is a linking verb here because in both cases you can see that these verbs are just connecting the subject to these adjectives, happy and confident. The apple smelled rotten. Here again, smelled is a linking verb. Children got hungry in the evening. Got is a linking verb here. Now, to decide whether the verb used in the sentence is a linking verb or an action verb, you are to test, you are to put these sentences on this touchstone. A simple rule is that these linking verbs may be replaced with some form of the verb to be. All these verbs, if they are linking verbs, may easily be replaced with some form of to be, is, am, are, or was verb. Again, look at these sentences. They looked happy. They were happy. Instead of look, we may use were. She sounded confident. She was confident. The apple smelled rotten. The apple was rotten. Children got hungry. Children were hungry. So you see that these linking verbs may easily be replaced with a form of the verb to be. Well, then there are modals or modal verbs or modal auxiliaries. The three terms are used for the same type of verbs: modals, simply modals, or modal verbs, or modal auxiliaries. They basically reflect, they show the speaker's attitude to the action. Whoever is speaking shows his own attitude, shows his own opinion of the action. In other words, they are used to express functions such as permission, ability, obligation, prohibition, lack of necessity, advice, possibility, or probability. These are different functions that these modal verbs perform. You must not disturb the baby. Now here must shows the speaker's opinion or speaker's attitude with respect to disturbing the baby. You must not disturb the baby. Can you speak English? Can is a modal verb here that shows the attitude of the speaker. Now, these are different modal verbs: can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. Then there are certain other expressions and verbs dare, ought to, had better, and need. They also behave like modal auxiliaries. They have no tense. Now the main thing about these modals or modal verb is that they don't have any tense and no person. They don't change with person, so they never change. So there is no change in them. All modal verbs must be followed by a bare infinitive. Now, bare infinitive are used with most of these modal verbs. Bare infinitive means infinitive without to, except for ought. However, ought is used with full infinitive, which means infinitive with to. When used in the past, the verb have is added to these models. If we want to make a past sentence, if we want to make a sentence in the past tense, we may use have. We may use have with them, and in that way, the sentence becomes perfect. You should have helped your friend. Now, have is a modal verb, should is a modal verb, and we have used have, and with have we have used the third form of the main verb. So we are basically using perfect tense. He may have misunderstood you. Again, may is a modal verb, and have has been used there, and misunderstood is the third form. Perfect. It is the perfect tense. So if we want to make past sentences in the with the help of modal verbs, we are to use have and the third form in such sentences. So here the first part of our verb lecture completes. Inshallah, in our next lecture, we will complete discussion of verbs. Thank you very much.